Are you ready to conquer anxiety and find peace in your life? Discover the 7 powerful Stoic principles that will guide you on this transformative journey. Lesson 1. Self-awareness. In our busy day-to-day life, it's easy to get caught up in the mess of outside needs and inside battles. Stoic lessons invite us to start a trip inside ourselves, towards the heart of who we are. A trip marked by knowing ourselves. This first rule is the strong base on which the building of peace is built. In the big picture of Stoic thinking, knowing ourselves is the main part. It's about focusing inside ourselves, removing layers of habit, response, and feeling to find the heart of who we really are. The Stoics thought that a calm mind starts with a deep understanding of our own thoughts and feelings. As we find our way through the maze of our thoughts, the Stoic rule is simple. Watch without judging. This isn't about scolding ourselves for seen mistakes, but more about understanding the complex dance between our views, decisions, and feelings. By growing this watching position, we get the power to separate ourselves from the rough waves of worry, making a place for clear thinking and looking back. The wise philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This old saying tells us to pay more attention to our inner thoughts. By doing this, we can find out what makes us anxious and start to let go of unnecessary worries. You don't need to do anything big or be alone for a long time to practice self-awareness. It can be as easy as taking a few moments each day to think about yourself. Stop, breathe, and ask yourself, what feelings do I have right now? Are they based on what's really happening? Are they coming from fears and doubts? In our journey of learning about ourselves, it's important to remember that we are always changing. Our thoughts and feelings come and go like clouds in the sky. By understanding them, we can see patterns and habits. Being aware of ourselves gives us the power to choose how we react, helping us avoid anxiety. As we start to become more self-aware, let's remember what the wise philosopher Marcus Aurelius said. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. The secret to a life without anxiety is in being self-aware. This is where peace can grow and thrive. Lesson 2. Mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Mindfulness, as taught by Stoicism, is not just a popular term but a deep practice that asks us to be fully aware of each moment. The Stoics, with their great understanding of people, knew that a lot of our worry comes from thinking about the past or being scared of the future. So, mindfulness becomes the cure, a practice that frees us from the limits of time. Stoic mindfulness means purposely connecting with what's happening right now, paying full attention to what we see, hear, and feel. By doing this, we can stop our minds from constantly changing and find peace in the simple things around us. One strong way to practice mindfulness is through ways to relax. The Stoics believed that a peaceful mind comes from a relaxed body. Using methods like deep breathing, meditation, or slowly relaxing our muscles can lead us to calmness. As Seneca said, true happiness is to enjoy the present without worrying too much about the future. Think about breathing. It's a common way to stay focused on the present moment. The wise Stoic teacher Epictetus said, "We have control over our mind, not things that happen outside. Understand this, and you will find power." In the steady cycle of breathing in and out, we find a safe place where our mind can escape from the storm of worry. Being mindful is more than just times when we're trying to practice it. It's part of our everyday activities, from enjoying a meal to feeling the warmth of the sun on our skin. The Stoics would tell us to put purpose into what we do, turning regular tasks into chances to be mindful. As we start our journey of being aware and relaxed, let's remember that it's not about running away from reality, but deeply connecting with it. By focusing on the present, we become stronger against worries. As the wise philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "You don't need much to live a happy life. It's all about your mindset." The peace we're looking for is found in being fully aware of each moment as it passes. Lesson 3. Cognitive restructuring. At the center of changing our thoughts is the Stoic belief that our thoughts make our reality. The mind, like a sculptor's tool, shapes our experiences. Stoicism tells us to use this mental tool on purpose, cutting away unreasonable fears and worries to show the beauty of a calm mind. The process starts with a simple but deep question: are my thoughts helpful? Stoicism asks us to really look at the stories we make up in our minds. Often, worry comes from twisted thinking, where we imagine the worst and fear things that aren't rational. Changing our thoughts challenges these twisted views, pushing us to replace them with balanced and reasonable ones. The wise Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We can't pick what happens around us, but we can always pick how we react to them." This choice, according to Stoicism, starts with changing our inner talks. When a worrying thought comes up, stop and check if it's true. Is it based on real facts or just guesses and ideas? The Stoics also suggest a practice called the view from above. Imagine stepping out of yourself and looking at the situation without any bias. This change in view lets us see the whole picture, often showing that what seemed too big to handle is just a passing problem. Stoicism tells us to see problems as chances to grow. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "He who worries before it's needed, worries more than needed." By changing our thoughts, we learn to see hard times not as big barriers, but as steps towards personal growth. As we start the journey of changing our thoughts, let's remember that the mind is flexible and can learn new ways of thinking. The Stoics would remind us that the power to change our mental world is in our hands. By changing our thoughts, we free ourselves from worry, creating a mindset that handles life's problems with strength and peace. Lesson 4. Healthy lifestyle choices. Regular exercise, a key part of a healthy life, helps us not only to be physically strong, but also mentally clear. Exercise makes the body release endorphins, which naturally help us deal with stress and make us feel positive. The Stoic rule agrees with this, reminding us that the body is not separate but a big part of who we are. The old Stoics would advise balance in all parts of life, including what we eat. A balanced and healthy diet doesn't just give energy to the body, but also affects how we feel. The food we eat can either give us energy or make us tired, affecting our mood and strength. By thinking carefully about what we eat, we help create a calm mind. Getting enough sleep is a key part of a healthy lifestyle. It's not just a luxury, but a need for our mind and body to refresh. Good sleep helps us think clearly, balance our emotions, and be strong when facing things that might make us worried. As we go through life, it's important to think about how our daily habits affect our mental health. Stoicism, a philosophy, teaches us that making careful choices about our lifestyle can help us find peace. Think about your daily activities. Do they help create a peaceful connection between your mind and body? The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "We don't have a short time to live, but we waste a lot of it." The choices we make every day affect the quality of our life. By choosing a healthy lifestyle, we build a strong mind that can handle life's challenges calmly and, in the end, overcome worry. Lesson 5. Stress management. Stoicism doesn't promise a life without problems. It gives us a plan for how to deal with these problems. Stress, which is common in our modern lives, often comes from how we see things happening around us. The Stoics suggest a big change in how we see things. Focus on what you can control. A Stoic philosopher, known for his focus on personal control, said, "We can't choose what happens to us, but we can always choose how we react to it." According to Stoicism, managing stress starts by paying attention to the parts of life we can control. By doing this, we free ourselves from the pointless fight against things we can't control. Accepting things is a big part of managing stress in Stoic philosophy. Stoicism tells us to see them as chances to grow. By seeing hard times as ways to build character, we turn stress into a tool for becoming stronger. Being calm when facing problems is another Stoic idea that helps with managing stress. The Stoic wise man Seneca wisely said, "Real happiness is to enjoy the now without worrying about the future." By focusing on the now and accepting that things change, we lessen the power of things that stress us out. Managing stress also means choosing not to get too emotionally tied to results. While it's good to set goals and work hard, Stoicism tells us to be flexible with what we expect. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, in his book Meditations, wrote, "You don't need much to live a happy life. It's all within you, in your way of thinking." By letting go of being too attached to specific results, we lessen the weight of stress. Doing practical things like writing in a journal can help with managing stress. Take a moment each day to think about what happened and how you reacted. Figure out where you can take control and where it's best to just accept things. This practice goes along with Stoic teachings, reinforcing the idea that peace comes from thoughtful reactions to life's problems. As we start the journey of managing stress through Stoic principles, let's remember that problems aren't meant to break us but to make us stronger. By adopting the Stoic way of thinking, we build a calm and steady attitude that stays strong even when life gets stormy, ultimately leading us towards ending the cycle of worry. Lesson 6. Support system. Creating a group of supportive people goes along with the Stoic idea of knowing what we can control. We might not be able to control what happens around us, but we can choose who we spend time with and the relationships we build. Being around people who show Stoic qualities, like wisdom, bravery, fairness, and self-control, helps a lot in making our minds stronger. A famous Stoic philosopher talked about how important friendship is in his letters. He wrote, "Real happiness is to enjoy the now without worrying about the future." A group of supportive people gives us a safe place where we can share our thoughts, fears, and happiness, creating a feeling of belonging that is very important for mental health. When things get tough, having people around us can give us advice and make us feel strong. The wise man Epictetus, who was once a slave, said that it's really helpful to get advice from people who have been through the same problems. This is a big part of the Stoic way of thinking, where experienced people pass on what they've learned. Helping each other isn't just about getting help. It's also about being there for others. In a Stoic group, everyone's happiness is connected. When we're kind, understanding, and empathetic, we make a safe space where everyone feels listened to and supported when they're having a hard time. There are practical things we can do in the Stoic way to make our support network stronger. We can share our thoughts, have open talks, and work together on problems to build a feeling of friendship. The Stoics thought that being good is a reward in itself, and by building good relationships, we're doing something good for everyone. As we use the idea of a support network to help us stop feeling anxious, we should remember that it's not weak to be open about our feelings. It actually makes us stronger. Stoicism shows us that asking for and giving support is a sign of wisdom and bravery. By building strong relationships, we make a safe place that can help us weather life's storms, and this helps us have a calm mind that can handle anxiety. Lesson 7. Professional help. Stoicism is about mastering yourself and taking responsibility, but it doesn't mean you have to deal with life's problems all on your own. The philosophy understands that it's good to get help from outside, especially when facing problems that are too big for one person to handle. When it comes to mental health, this often means getting professional help is important. The Stoics would argue that just like we get trainers for physical fitness and mentors for learning, there's no shame in getting help from mental health professionals for emotional well-being. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary." This means that getting professional help can save us from unnecessary suffering. People sometimes feel bad about having mental health problems, but this is a new idea. The Stoics, who were all about dealing with problems in a practical way, would probably think it's smart to get help from experts when we're dealing with tough mental issues. They knew that the human mind is complex, and sometimes we need expert help. A Stoic philosopher known for his teachings on personal power would likely appreciate the active step of getting professional help. By doing this, we're using our ability to choose the best way to deal with our problems. This fits with the Stoic idea that real freedom comes from choosing how we react to what happens to us. As we accept the idea of getting professional help, let's remember that it's not weak to be open about our feelings. It's actually brave and shows our humanity. Asking for help shows strength and a commitment to taking care of ourselves. As we deal with the complexities of the mind, Stoicism encourages us to be practical, using all the resources we have to get over anxiety and find peace.